Here's the area we're going to study today. But before we start that, do you remember the other places we've studied? We've studied the Arctic tundra and the Arctic Ocean. Do you remember where they were? Oh, there they are. How about the Sonoran Desert? Do you remember where it was? Yeah, there it was. I have one more question for you. Do you know where we live? Can you find it on the map? Here we are. On with our story for today. Rattenborough, you're a fearless leader here. To show you something a little different, we've been talking about habitats, the places where plants and animals live, and we've spent time in three most extreme habitats in the world: the freezing Arctic tundra, the Arctic Ocean, and the scorching Sonora Desert. Now I've come to a habitat that should be of great interest to you. Some of the most famous animals in the world live here. Welcome to the East African savanna. Savanna is another name for grassland, a vast stretch of grass covered land. You know you're in the grassland when there's a lot of grass around you, but not many trees or bushes. The East African savanna has very warm weather all year round. However, it only has two seasons: the rainy summer and the dry winter. The plants and animals that live here have had to adapt to these two very different kinds of weather in the summer and the winter. Luckily, I brought my umbrella in case it starts to pour. Boy, I can barely see a thing in all this grass. There's so much of it. As the name grassland suggests, grass is the most important plant growing in the savannas. The grasses are very hardy, which means they can survive the tough conditions of their habitat: long spells of dry, hot weather, as well as heavy rainfall and flooding. The grass has adapted to these conditions by growing very deep roots. Even if the grass above ground is destroyed, the roots underground survive and the grass can grow back. This grass grows very quickly, as much as an inch a day. The grass in your backyard might take a whole week to grow an inch. Yikes, I'm surrounded by hooves. That's because grass is food for many of the larger animals, like elephants, zebras, gazelles, and antelope. They chew on the grass all day long. I don't think grass is all that tasty, to tell the truth, but these animals depend on the nutrients in the grass to survive. It's all they need to eat. Hmm, if all they eat is grass, they must be an herbivore. It would seem that because so many animals eat grass in the savanna every day, there wouldn't be much grass left after a while. But remember that this grass grows back very quickly, so there's usually plenty for different herbivores like zebras and antelopes to eat. Grass is not the only important source of food in the savanna. Many animals get their meals from the acacia tree. Giraffes, with their long necks and tongues, are able to eat twigs and leaves from the top of the acacia. Not only are the giraffe's tongues long, but they're also very tough. It's a good thing, too, because the twigs of the acacia tree are covered with sharp thorns that the giraffes eat right along with the twigs and the leaves. Elephants eat grass, and they like acacias, too. They rest in the acacia's shade and eat the acacia leaves, branches, and seeds. They even like to strip off the bark and chew on it. I think this acacia tree might be great to climb and get a better look at the savanna, but don't forget it's covered with prickly thorns. Ouch! Acacias have adapted well to their habitats. Acacias have small leaves that don't dry out as quickly as the larger leaves would dry out in hot summer months. The roots of the acacia grow very deep in the ground, which allow them to collect water far from underground when there's not much rainfall. and their sharp thorns help keep some animals from eating too many of its branches. These trees are right at home in this habitat. Animals living in the savanna have adapted to their habitats in many ways. Some animals, like the giraffe, have long, powerful legs that they can so that they can quickly run away from their predators or those animals that want to hunt and eat them. Their long legs also help them travel long distances searching for food. Can you imagine a rat like me keeping up with a giraffe or a zebra? Not a chance. Now, there's a little bird that's been sitting on this giraffe the whole time I've been watching. It's an oxpecker. Oxpeckers perch on the backs of large animals. This oxpecker will use its sharp claws to hold on to the giraffe, who will hardly even know it's there. The giraffe and the oxpecker coexist. That means they live well together. The oxpecker feeds on the fleas and the ticks living on the giraffe's body and warns the giraffe of any predators that might be trying to sneak up on it. In turn, the giraffe will let the oxpecker live on its back and provide the oxpecker food, fleas, and ticks. Ugh. It will also provide shelter and protection from predators. The oxpecker will spend most of its life on the giraffe's back. What a partnership! So here I am, back in all this tall grass, and I bet you recognize the black and white stripes of the zebra I've just run into. Zebras are specially adapted to living in the savanna. They have strong, long legs that make them very good at outrunning lions and other predators, and they have stripes on their backs and legs. But those stripes don't just look pretty. They camouflage the zebra against the grass so that the predators can't see it. Zebras eat the grass on the savannas, so they are herbivores. Over there I can see the largest land animal in the world. It's an African elephant, and it's very big, and it eats up to 400 pounds of trees and grasses every day. That's about the same as, about 9 first graders. But they won't eat you. African elephants are adapted to the hot weather in the savanna. They have huge ears that flap like fans and stay cool and keep the bugs away. They also have thick skin that protects them from the branches and the thorns. Do you see the trunk on that elephant? An elephant uses its trunk for all sorts of things. The trunk is, of course, the elephant's nose for breathing and smelling. But the trunk also is used like a hand for lifting things, gathering food, and even holding on to other elephants' tails. Baby elephants, or calves, use their trunk to grasp other elephants' tails to keep them from wandering away from the rest of the herd and getting lost. Elephants also use their trunks to drink water. They suck up the water with the trunks and then put the water from their trunks into their mouths. They also use their trunks like a hose for showers and just for playing. These animals are lions. Lions live in groups called prides. The females, or lionesses, do most of the hunting. They are carnivores and they hunt zebras, elephants, and all kinds of other savanna animals. Most groups of lions have just 1 or 2 males. The male lion is huge and incredibly strong. It has a furry mane, powerful jaws, and fearsome claws. Unless this lion meets a stronger lion, no other animal in the savanna habitat can match the lion's strength and power. Animals that are hunted by predators are called prey. One of the lion's favorite prey to hunt and eat are zebras. Zebras try to use the camouflage of their stripes to hide in the grasses of the savannas so the lions will not see them. Up at the top of this tree I can see and hear birds that are waiting for the lions to finish eating so they can have their dinner. These birds are called vultures. A vulture is a scavenger. which, as we've learned before, is an animal that only eats leftovers. All of the animals and plants that you've learned about so far are part of something we call a food chain. What do you see at the bottom of this picture? It's the savanna grass. The arrow points from the savanna grass to the zebra because the zebra eats the grass. The next arrow points from the zebra to the lion because, you guessed it, the lion eats the zebra. The next picture after the lion is a picture of soil because eventually the lion will die and its body becomes part of the soil. Then more grass grows out of that soil, and that starts the chain all over again. Next, I think we should head to a habitat that's a bit closer to home and explore some plants and animals that might look quite familiar to us. But for now, I'm going to go check out more wildlife. I'll see you next time.